Yo, what's going down, everybody? It is straight out of Boston here, aka the King of Boston, and today we're back with episode 16, I believe, of the Around the League series, and today we're doing the Los Angeles Lakers. Now, I'm going up against my friend Burns today. He's using the Heat. I kept this game close for a while, but he's going to end up pretty much blowing me out in the second half, so, you know, kind of ignore the gameplay and just kind of listen to the commentary if you want to hear what I think about the Los Angeles Lakers. Now, this is one of the more publicly criticized teams in the NBA currently. I've already discussed why I think that they're done this season, why I think that they should trade Dwight Howard if they can, even though Mitch Kupchak and Jim Buss, they'll never do that because they're too freaking ignorant to admit that this plan failed, but that's a whole nother story. So what I really want to talk about is what this team should do, kind of moving towards the future. And just kind of go through their roster like I usually do. So anyway, going through the roster, obviously, Kobe Bryant, there's nothing to say about him. One of the greatest players of all time. Will probably go down as a top 10, I want to say he's the top 10 player of all time, quite frankly. You know, 5 rings or whatever, and 30,000 points. So, you know, we'll see what he does. He's on a 2-year contract, I believe. His deal expires after 2014. He said on draft day that he wanted to retire at 36, and before last season, I believe, he said that he still wanted to retire at 36, and that would be after his contract's up in 2014. So I'm interested to see if he still does that. I don't think he's going to do it. I think he's going to keep playing. I think he wants another ring. I think he wants to match Jordan, and he's not going to quit till he does. But anyway, there's nothing else to say about him. Dwight Howard, I'll go on to him too. I mentioned they should trade him. I think he's gone up to the end of this year. He's not going to resign. He's not having a fun time in LA. The Lakers have, you know, he's an unrestricted free agent, so the Lakers don't have any like rights over him or anything like that. Yeah, I think he's gonna be gone. Yeah, quite frankly. So if they can trade him, I think they should, but I don't think they're gonna. And then Steve Nash, point guard, obviously from the Phoenix Suns last year or whatever. You know, he's a guy that doesn't really fit in the D'Antoni system, so to say, just because of the fact that it's clear that Kobe wants the ball in his hand, and Kobe, throughout his career, played with Derek Fisher, who's a spot-up shooter for a point guard, and, you know, Kobe doesn't need a point guard. He needs, you know, if they run the triangle, all he needs is Derek Fisher, you know, a three-point shooter, spot-up shooter type guy like that. And, you know, Kobe can dribble the ball up the court. He's shown that he can get assists before, you know, if he has capable teammates around him, which right now he doesn't really necessarily. But, yeah, I think Nash was kind of a bad, you know, he just doesn't fit with the Lakers, quite frankly. He doesn't fit with Kobe. They don't play well together. And then Pau Gasol, he's out 6 to 8 weeks at this point. It's more like 5 to 7 weeks, I think. It's been like a week or two since, yeah, about a week since he got hurt. Actually, I think exactly a week. Didn't he get hurt? And I got hurt like last Tuesday. So anyway, I like Pau Gasol a lot. I agree with him coming off the bench, though. I think that his skill set doesn't work with Dwight Howard's. At least it doesn't work in the D'Antoni system. And I think that his skill set is so good that he can almost be a James Harden type and run the offense through him with the second unit. So I like him coming off the bench. But obviously he's hurt right now, so that doesn't really matter. Earl Clark is a guy that I really like. I'll move on to some of the younger guys that I think I like for the future of this team. Earl Clark is a guy that I like. I think that he could be a starter for this team in the future. He's, what, 3rd year, 4th year or something out of Louisville. So far he's probably been the steal, him or Nikola Vucevic, steal of that Dwight Howard trade, quite frankly. He was acquired from Orlando. 6'10" guy. He stretches the floor at the 4. He can play the 3. I really like him. You know, he's a 3-point shooter. You know, he rebounds the ball. He's not the best defender. He reminds me a lot of Danilo Gallinari, probably a better rebounder, but just worse overall scorer than Gallo. But I like Earl Clark. I think he's good. I think they should keep him around, especially because with the whole D'Antoni situation, which I'll get into in a little bit, I think that he's going to fit into that system, and that they should have him stick around or whatever for at least, you know, as long as they keep D'Antoni. He didn't even pass that because I like this guy's skill set. Jordan Hill's another young guy that I really like. He's also a 4th-year man, I believe, out of Arizona. He was kind of a throw-in in the Derek Fisher deal or whatever when they dealt Derek Fisher to Houston. I can't figure out why Houston got rid of this guy. I mean, he's talented. He's shown that when he plays minutes, he can produce. He's out for the year at this point. He had hip surgery, I do believe. So that sucks. But I like Jordan Hill. I think they should also keep him around for a little bit. I don't know if he's ever going to be a starter, but he's certainly a very good role player. He can come off the bench and provide you, you know, just some good solid minutes. As for the rest of the guys on this team, there aren't really any more pieces that I like. I'll just kind of go through the list. I think Medrol Piece is having a very good year this year. He's been one of the bright spots of this roster. But, you know, he's old, obviously. He's, I don't know, I can't calculate. He's in his 30s though. This is his 14th year in the league. Robert Sacre is a rookie. He's not that good, quite frankly. Darius Morris also. This is his second year out of Michigan. He's okay. He's just decent backup, but I don't really know. Jody Meeks and Antoine Jameson, two guys who were acquired in the offseason as spot-up shooters. They've been alright. Meeks has been okay. Jameson's been good at times, but very inconsistent. Jameson really fits in the D'Antoni system. Obviously a veteran just trying to get his ring, and struggling with that, of course. But anyway, going further down the roster, Ebanks, he's okay. He's a good role player, I think. Nothing more than that. Duhon, and then Steve Blake, who's just a veteran backup who was good on Portland, but just hasn't really fit in with the Lakers yet. He's a backup at best there. But anyway, I just think this team, they have to think about the future, quite frankly. They screw themselves over by hiring D'Antoni for 3 years because they can't fire him. Because they can't fire him and hire another guy and then be on the books next year for Mike Brown, Mike D'Antoni, and a third coach. Because, when you fire somebody, you still have to pay out their contract. They're still paying Mike Brown right now. But they're, they don't want to pay D'Antoni and another coach further down the line. And I think that's one of the reasons why Jim Buss didn't want to hire Phil Jackson, outside of the fact that he's an arrogant prick. Not Phil Jackson, Jim Buss. I think Buss didn't want to pay Phil Jackson a ton of money along with Mike Brown. But the real reason I think they didn't hire Mike Brown is because, not Mike Brown, Phil Jackson is because, Phil Jackson told them, okay, I'll have my response on Monday, give me a few days. And Jim Buss was like, no. Like, I'm Jim Buss. I'm going to hire somebody else just to spite you. And Jim Buss is such a prick. Oh, my God, that guy. He's a terrible, what is he, the GM or the owner? I don't even know. He, from the looks of things, I think he runs the show out there in LA. But anyway, that's really all I have to say on this team. This is a team that definitely needs to look towards building for the future. They're not going to make the playoffs this year without Pau Gasol and with Dwight Howard being hurt and this team chemistry being at as low as it could be, quite frankly. So anyway, they need to look to rebuild soon. Probably move on. Pau Gasol's going to be gone after a year. Kobe's going to be gone after a year. Dwight's gone after this year. Nash is gone after, I don't know what his contract's like. But anyway, that's going to wrap this video. So I thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed. And so I'm out. Peace.